Oh yeah, we all love a great Super Bowl feast. But there's a problem with all of them. You gotta make like 50 different recipes and it's a bunch of little small things, this, that, this, that. What needs to be hot, what's gonna come out cold, blah, blah, blah. And you just wanna enjoy the party. I have a solution. One singular, shareable, giant sandwich of epic proportion that can all be done with prep. It is for sure to be the star of the table that will be talked about for years to come. Let's begin.
When I say ultimate sandwich, I mean ridiculous. And this just wouldn't be ridiculous without making our own cured meat. I'd like to introduce you to Morty, homemade mortadella. And it's not for the faint of heart. Sure, you can go buy your own, or you can flex like this. First, start by grinding 850 grams of boneless pork Boston butt and 225 grams of pork fat back, all of which has been cut into pieces that fit nicely into your meat grinder. Full pause. Yes, this is fully in grams. Very sorry. But it's important to be as accurate as possible since we're dealing with curing salts. Look, Papa just wants you to be safe. I've got you. Anyway, run this through your grinder, which you can use something like this or a stand mixer attachment. Either way, you'll need to grind this once, all the way through, and then one more time to get it as fine as possible. Add that bad boy to a bowl, then to that mixture, you'll add 27 grams of kosher salt and 2.5 grams of Instacure #1. Link in the description for all the stuff that I'm using. Mix that together thoroughly, cover with plastic wrap, and leave in the fridge to cure overnight. The next day, get yourself 225 grams of additional pork fat back, cut that into half-inch cubes, place into a large metal sieve, and pour boiling water over it for about 20 seconds and let that cool completely. Now, please, a moment for our newest addition to the kitchen, Papa's Robocool. Wow. Let's be honest, it's truly a restaurant industry achievement to buy one of these bad boys. Finally. That being said, you can use a regular food processor. You may just have to do this part in batches. So anyway, add your meat to a food processor, process that for about 1 minute, then add 125 grams of ice, more specifically the type of ice, you'd get from like Sonic, that crushed stuff. Whole cubes will eviscerate your food processor. Now, during this entire process, you need to keep your mixture under 51 degrees Fahrenheit or you'll break the emulsion, which is no good. Now, keep processing until you start to get a really nice homogeneous paste, about 3 minutes or so. Add the remainder of your ice, followed by 3 grams of coriander powder, 7 cloves of garlic grated, 5 grams of smoked paprika, 5 grams of fennel powder, and a quarter teaspoon or 0.25 grams of sodium erythorbate. Again, all these things you can get on Amazon, link in the description for what I used. Blitz it all together for another minute or two, and look at that, a very pink paste. It looks like the stuff with the chicken nuggets are made of at McDonald's. Look, this is a special thing. It's one of the greatest and most OG deli meats of all time. Give it the respect it deserves. Now add your paste to a bowl, set over an ice bath to keep it chilled. Remember, keep this under 51 degrees Fahrenheit. From there, you'll add blanched pork fat back cubes, 5 grams of telecherry peppercorns whole, and of course, 60 grams of raw pistachios. Fold together until evenly incorporated. Place into a sausage stuffer. Soak in 85mm collagen casing for 2 to 3 minutes, and well, pop that casing on, fill her up until nice and doitly. Wind it up so you get a very taut and thick mortadella. Tie the other end with a kitchen twine as tightly as you can to make sure no water can get in there. Look, I can be a little neurotic, so I like to tightly wrap it in plastic wrap for that extra water leakage insurance. It's free insurance. Well, sort of. Tie off those ends as well, and then just drop that into a sous vide bath set to 140 Fahrenheit for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Then immediately remove it and pop into an ice bath until chilled. Morty, our son. Let him chill in the fridge overnight, and then his final days the next day. You simply unwrap, give him a loving goodbye, slice to see that incredible cross-section, and then slice on a meat slicer as thick or as thinly as you like. Obviously, a meat slicer helps. You could use a knife, but I mean, look, at this point, you've gone this far, you might as well get a meat slicer. But as always, you can always go to the store and buy your own mortadella, and you can still tell people you made the mortadella, but you'll know deep down that you just watched me do it. And you know you didn't. You devious, twisted thing. I still love you. Onward to focaccia. We need to make a lot, but it's extremely simple. You will need a very large bowl. A solution to this would be to divide this in 3 separate bowls, but we'll do it the big boy way. Get an extremely large bowl, add in 2,272 grams of water at 95 degrees Fahrenheit, mix in 16 grams of instant yeast until dissolved, then 64 grams of fine sea salt, whisk, then add in 3,200 grams of double O-tipo flour, yes, it's a lot, and mix together by hand until you get a nice rough dough. Using a scooping motion, pick up the dough, scoop it up, slap it back down into the bowl over and over for about 3 to 4 minutes. You're gonna get a real workout here, pal, and you might be able to negate the calories just a little. Probably not. Then take the whole dough out, scoop onto a clean work surface, then pick it up, slap it down, and quickly fold it over itself. I know the dough's sticky and it's heavy, but as you repeat this process over and over, it'll stick less and less, and as soon as it's nice and smooth and doit, about 2 to 3 minutes, it's done. Divide into 3 even pieces, pop into individual greased bowls, cover with plastic wrap, and rise overnight in the fridge. Next day, you'll grease 3 whole baking sheets generously with extra virgin olive oil. Don't get skimpy here, all right? You need a small pool in the bottom. I want that crispy bottom. Now plop 1 bowl of dough into each baking sheet, gently stretch it out as far as it'll go to fill the pan as best as possible, cover with plastic wrap, and proof at room temperature for 3 hours. Now while that's proofing, we can make all of our other stuff. First off, guanciale. First, you'll finally cube 6 ounces of a beautiful chunk of guanciale. Pop that into a 12-inch pan set over medium-low and cook, stirring often for 10 minutes or until brown and as crispy as humanly possible. Remove from the pan, drain on paper towels until completely cooled, and then finally chop. That's it. Now we make the mayo. In a quart-sized container, add 2 egg yolks, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and 2 tablespoons of water, salt to taste, and 1 cup of vegetable oil. Drop in a lovely immersion blender. Once it reaches the bottom, let her rip, brother. Blend as you slowly raise to the top, and once it's beautifully emulsified, you should have a nice, thick, glossy mayo. Transfer that to a medium-sized bowl. Add your chopped guanciale, 1 finely chopped shallot, 1 tablespoon of thinly sliced chives, 1 cornichon or gherkin, finely chopped. I love the word gherkin because gherkin rhymes with workin'. What were you thinking? 2 teaspoons finely chopped capers, salt, pepper, and lemon juice to taste. Whisk together, and bada bing, bada boom. Look, we're double saucing here, okay? I'm making a pistachio pesto. Important note alert. This is pinnacle to this sandwich, and it can be applied to anything and make any sandwich taste unforgettable. So keep your eyes peeled here. So get a food processor. To that, add 1 cup raw pistachios, 8 cloves of garlic, a 1/3 cup of grated pecorino cheese, half a cup of fresh basil, then blend that as finely as you can. Then add 1 cup of extra virgin olive oil, blend one more time, and pour that into a large bowl. Season to taste with flaky salt, mix that in, and it's done. If you want it more runny, then just add a little more olive oil until it's your desired consistency. At this point, your focaccia should have, maybe around an hour or so, probably more. Go ahead and preheat your oven to its maximum temperature, around 475 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Once your focaccia is done, working with 1 to 2 sheets at a time, carefully remove its plastic jacket. Generously drizzle with extra virgin olive oil, grease up your paws, and dipple the whole thing with your fingertips all over the focaccia. Then at that point, hit it with any seasonings you want, such as tar, maybe a little bit of flaky salt too, and pop into your oven for about 25 minutes or until cooked through and golden brown. Remove and repeat with all of your trays. Then allow those bad boys to cool for 5 minutes on their tray, and then transfer to a wire rack to cool completely. You gotta keep those bottoms quiff. And now, for probably one of the greatest sandwich assemblies this channel has ever seen, and I'm so happy to have you here to watch it. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. First off, you need to carefully cut about 1/3 of an inch off the top of every single sheet pan focaccia. I know it seems counterintuitive, but look, we need them flat if we're gonna make this sandwich stand tall. Just eat the trimmings. Dip them in some pesto. Now, for layer 1, first off, focaccia. Add 1/4 of your remoulade, spread it evenly, follow that with half of your mortadella, then follow that with 4 to 5 balls of burrata that have been torn or snipped with scissors into manageable little pieces. Arrange your burrata in whatever way makes you sing. You're the burrata Bob Ross. Now generously spread your pistachio pesto onto each and every little creamy delight of burrata. Then for the next layer, multiple slices of salami to cover the entire focaccia. You're gonna need around 2 pounds of Genoa salami for this whole thing, so yeah, 1 pound on just this part. Next, a half pound of sliced provolone, spread evenly across. And finally, a nice layer of very thinly sliced iceberg lettuce, which is literally just 1 whole head of iceberg, thinly sliced and optionally tossed with the zest of 1 lemon for that sweet perfume. Now, get another focaccia sheet, and this time, hit one side with 1/4 of your remoulade, top your stacked focaccia, remoulade side down, and then on top of that next focaccia piece, add another 1/4 of your remoulade, and guess what, pal? You're gonna do that stacking process all over again. The other half of your morty, another 4 to 5 balls of torn burrata, your pistachio pesto, the other pound of your salami, the other half pound of your provolone, the other half of your iceberg, and please, cue the opera music. Your remaining remoulade on your last focaccia sheet, and crown your king of all Super Bowl sandwiches. And look, you can cut this bad boy however you want. Slices, little pieces, you can skewer them. But more importantly, let's put this journey to a heroic end with a taste test.
This is a monstrosity. That's special to me. A sandwich you could serve to anybody and everybody at the Super Bowl. This is just half the sandwich. This half is 7 pounds, and this half is 9 pounds. 16 pounds of sandwich. Bada bing, bada boom. I didn't really take into consideration this is not physically possible to eat. Wow. So it's multiple eating experiences in one, but the best part is the flavor. I mean, you've got the mortadella, and it is perfect. The salami, you got the cheese, you got the freshness from the burrata, pesto, the remoulade. It's like bang, bang, bang. This is the ultimate, most ridiculous Super Bowl sandwich that won't leave any of your guests unhappy. I can guarantee you that. We got a whole lot of people here, and a whole lot of sandwich left. I just watched all of that go into Willie's mouth.
I'll take this one.
Nice.
It's so good and flavorful.
You guys are creamed up over here.
It's like the best club sandwich I've ever eaten.
It's not a club sandwich, but I'll take it. You might be left with a lot of sandwich after this Super Bowl, but the one thing that you'll never regret is making this sandwich and B-roll.